We made a tape. We made a tape showing the process involved into making wine. This is my first year exposed to making wine. Brian has made it a year before, 2 years in a row. But it's a lot of work involved. But the end result is that we get wine that looks like this, and it tastes like this. Delicious.
Pretty clear.
I want to thank Phil Suffalo and his father, Joseph, for introducing us to the process of making wine. They were very instrumental in helping us to make the wine.
As you'll see in the video, it'll go through many steps, and some of the weeks is 1 week and 2 weeks in between each step. So kind of pay attention. Maybe what we'll do at the end of the show is I'll write up an outline so that we can put it up. And any questions that you may have about any of the process or where we got any of the grapes or the barrels, we'll throw up my email, my website. Email me on that, and I will be glad to get back to you. So
there's an old saying. There's a saying the Italians have way back many years ago. Once they made the wine, I think it was something like this: I've got my wine to keep me warm. That's the way it goes. Or is it my love to keep me warm?
I'm only 27. I don't know.
Oh, you know. Anyway, 2 ways then. Either my love to keep me warm or my wine. In both cases, they keep us warm. Salute.
So enjoy the tape, and any questions, again, email me and I'll be happy to answer them.
Cent'anni.
Thanks, Phil and Joseph. Thanks. The first segment of the winemaking that we said we were going to bring to you. We're going to show you the oak barrels that we use. It's a 55-gallon drum. And then first we're going to show you what the inside, what it looks like. These are old whiskey barrels. And what they do is they light them on fire to burn the whiskey out. So as you can see, it's very charcoal on the inside. This is the one we used last year, so it's a little lighter, but it's usually really black.
Break the top open.
We have to break the top open, use a special hammer to get this ring off, and then we put the ring back on. Then, as you can see, as we drill a hole and we hand make the plugs using a piece of oak branch, and Phil whittles it down and puts it in there. Now we come in here and we're going to show you the grape. This is the grape that we use. We just picked it up today, 40 cases out in Chelsea, Mass. Sanguinetti, it's mixed black from California, to make a nice light red wine.
What we do to get it ready? Take them out.
Take the tops off. And we transfer them into these buckets so we can handle them up by the crusher. We're going to take all the leaves out.
Take the leaves out.
These make it bitter. So
36 pounds in each crate, 36 pounds, so we have 40 boxes, it's almost
1,200, 1,300 pounds.
1,300 pounds. And then
each crate makes 2.5 gallons of wine.
I'll show you what nice. It looks like the grape that you grow on your outside, but believe me, it's not from California. So next process is we bring them. We take them out, put them in the containers. This is the crusher that we have. When it's on, it's very loud. What happens is there's wheels in there that crush the grape macerated into the 55-gallon drum. In a minute, we're going to show you just quick how we do it because it is loud. That's what it looks like on the inside. If you get a zoom shot. What we'll do is we'll just turn the crusher on, show you how we crush it real quick, and then after we shut it off, we can get hopefully a close-up inside the barrel and see what it looks like. So I'll just give you a couple just to show you. So it'll be loud for a minute. Once they're crushed, we leave them in there for 1 week. Twice a day we push them down so that the grape mixes with the liquid. And every day the crush rises to the top. And as we'll show you next week, we'll show you when we pull the plug and drain it off. But we just wanted to show you what we're doing for this week. And that's pretty much it. Screen the grape, throw them in there, crusher, and cover the barrels, and we're ready to go. So until next week, I follow up to talk as usual.
We come a long way from making grape. When I was making grape when I was a young boy, that crusher wasn't available back then. We used to put the grapes in a big vat, and the women put wash their feet first, inside this vat, and crush it literally with their feet all around like this. Naturally, they'd be playing a little music on the side, but this is the way it was done back then. But today, new process, very quick, very fast. It probably takes it about 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes to crush 10 crates of grape into a 55-gallon drum.
We want to introduce, this is Joe Cephalo, Phil's father. He's the master. He's been making the wine since he's a little boy over in Italy. He used to climb into the big oak barrels and clean them out. I mean, they were, how big were they when you went in there? Big as this, height-wise, round, he'd climb in with a little, clean them all out. So he's been helping us for the last couple of years because he's been making wine for years.
A lot of tips there, a lot of important tips that in the process of making wine is very important. He's got the information. We have all the labor here today, and we can't wait till around Christmas time when we have our first sample.
Christmas you can drink it, but the longer you wait in glass, the better.
What's the date today?
Today's date is September 23rd.
Year 2000.
Year 2000.
You gotta put that in there.
We just picked the grape up early this morning about 7 o'clock, and it's now about 11. We're just getting ready to go. If you want to try to sneak in and take a close-up and see what it looks like, the first both barrels are done, are ready to be covered for next week. So Bob will, why don't we stop it?
Wait till he
turns it on. All right, tell him when you're on.
This has happened after you put through the machine and gets wash and ferments. There's a lot of sugar in there. The sugar go away and the alcohol comes in. And after 1 week, it should be ready to go. That's all this be on top and then the juice be at the bottom. Take it out through here, process into the barrels.
A couple of times a day.
You gotta press it down, yeah, because you gotta mix it.
Show them how you do it with this bowl.
Oh,
Handmade.
from the tree branch. Old-fashioned stuff.
Twice a day, you gotta bring it down so that
So you mix it and it
ferments.
ferments.
That's that process.
So, that should do it. We'll see you next week with the second stage. Alrighty, that's it. We'll see you next week. I think we're gonna go look for a bottle of wine of last year's, and I think we're gonna have a little bit right now. So until next week, we'll see you. Hi, welcome to Soup to Nuts again. We're on the second stage of our winemaking, and Davey Bryan's here today. He wants to get out. Look at the camera. Say hi. So you're helping to make the wine too. You're whining more than you're helping us. Anyway, we're in the second stage. As you can see, the barrels are draining. We pulled the plugs. We're draining the wine out of the barrels, and then we're going to clear the top of the grape to go in the grape press. So we're going to do a couple stages here. If we want to try to bring the camera over here and show you, so you can see in the barrel looks like what those two have been draining. These two, that's what it looks like. It's risen to the top after about a week. We pushed it down twice a day, and those ones are ready to go into the crusher. What we did over here, my father did over here, is he's been taking the wine out of the plastic and putting it into temporary containers so that we can pour it back into the barrel. And then we leave it in the barrel for 2 weeks. So for now, we're just showing you a couple,
Each one of those barrels will yield 25 gallons of liquid or wine later.
before the press.
Yeah, before. Now this will go into the press, this pulp here. Once that goes into the press, we take these 25 gallons, pour it back into the barrel. And we let them stay there for a few weeks, 2 weeks. And then after we get that process, when we come back in 2 weeks, right now it's a matter of taking this out, rinning them out, crushing it, getting it back in here, and each barrel, 25, 100 gallons. No, a little less than 100 gallons, 99 gallons. So we'll sip a gallon before we get through. We'll try it out, right?
Yeah, it tastes like grape juice now, no, obviously didn't ferment yet. So for now, we're gonna prepare this to put in the press. When we do that, we'll turn the camera back on, so I'll catch you in 1 minute once we get into the press.
Gotta show how the wine comes out and what we do in that.
Yeah, that's it. Is it all the way back? I'll record, yeah. Hi. Today, right now we're going to show you, we've already done 3 barrels, taken the grape out and pressed it a few times. Now we're going to show you what we do when we pull the plug, how we actually sap the wine, drain it to get the wine out, and then take the grape and press it. So we're going to pull the plug right now. Catches up. Must be something plug in the hole. Yeah, that goes a good time. Usually comes out a lot faster, but let's see.
Piece of grape or stem or something from the grapes blocking the hole and preventing the wine from flowing faster. Doesn't make a difference, it just makes the job a lot slower. We're actually trying to clear the path with, here you go. It's actually better for the slow. There we go. To flow slower than faster. When it flows fast, you get a lot of spray. It goes everywhere. You have to worry about spilling wine all over the place. But it does take more time.
Now we just drain it into here. And then we strain this temporarily into 5-gallon plastic containers. Like my father was doing earlier, and then we pour it right into back into the oak barrel.
Explain to the link of these barrels out.
We've already done this a couple times with these barrels. We're on our last barrel. And now, maybe you can back up and come and look over here. Still on?
Yeah.
This is the wine press. We have it all. We have grape in there inside, and we put blocks in to stack it. Put the top on, and then all you do is, my father's doing, keep pressing and pressing, and what that does is it lowers it. The wine, as you can see, drips off the sides onto the basin and into the bottom of that container there.
Here she comes.
Watch the bead.
We do it twice.
This is the second press we've done. Once you take it out of the barrels and put it in there once, you press it, you break everything down again, break up the grape again, put it back on there again, and you press it twice, 2 times. The bees going in, the bees like the sweetness of the grapes are going in everywhere.
And the flavor.
Come back and show them. When we come back, we'll show you how we take the grape out of the barrel, break this press down, and we'll show you how to stack it, put it all together. So we'll be ready to bring this down. I'm going to show you how we take the pulp out and get it ready for the press. All right, now we just, this one's really wet. Usually it's a lot drier than this. Yeah, we saw earlier when we were draining it, this is what's left, just all the crushed pulp in the...
Is there any flavor of alcohol in any of it, or is it still just grapes?
No, it's just grape juice, because it hasn't started fermenting out yet. So, because it's only been in there a week. If we waited 2 weeks, we might have started having a little fermentation. Yeah, you guys look that up? This is what it looks like when we take it out of there. And what we're going to do now is bring it over to the press and throw it in, but we're going to stop it and get prepared to throw it in there. I'm just going to get this out.
It's coming out already, huh? Just the weight of it in there.
Yes.
You want to lift up a little?
I'm sorry.
Really juicy grape.
That's why the guy was saying you're going to get more than 100 of it. It's so wet.
This is the great. If the wine tastes good, we should use this again next year.
No Italian guy didn't think.
Are you taping, Greg?
No.
No.
Yeah, the red light's on. Yes.
What's that?
No, I want to get in there with that. That's it. All right, so okay, now we're just topping it off. This is the second batch of grape that we're putting on from the same barrel. That's why it's, you can hear it dripping from the press already because the grape is really wet. As soon as it packs down a little bit, it starts to drip, drain. Now what you do here is you just level it off a little bit. And these pieces go, stack these pieces in. Yeah, we already checked them in. Now we're stacking the blocks, alternating across the seams here. This is how we stack it. You can't touch this middle pole here, and you don't want anything hitting the cage because as it lowers, you don't want it to hit. I'm gonna go across the seams and make sure that it's in close enough. Okay, we're almost ready for the top piece. Now we just tighten this up and use the bar and press the grape down and the liquid comes out the bottom here. Just go slow, you don't want to overflow the side of it. This grape, this is, out of all 4 barrels, this is the wettest out of all. Really wet.
Probably want to get a bucket and change that, otherwise it's going to be too weird though.
It's gonna be a very light color wine, not a dark no. You can fix it right now. Like grape juice, that's all it is.
You got it. You got it.
Now we're going to dump this back into the oak barrel. What we do is press it twice, goes back into the barrel for 2 weeks, starts the fermentation process, and then after 2 weeks, next time we'll be filming, we'll show you how we siphon out of the oak into 5-gallon glass. It stays in the cool environment until you can drink it. Usually the night before Thanksgiving we try it. And it's still a little, carbonation's still there because it's not boiled all the way out yet. Best time to drink it is Christmas last year anyway.
Christmas? Yeah, we got a little late this year, so even after the first of the year.
Christmas and anytime after that, it only gets better with age.
You should technically sit for a year in glass before you start drinking it. You should be drinking last year's wine, but because last year was the first year we made it, we drank last year's wine. So this year, this will sit until next year probably, or most of it will sit until next year.
I still have a little left from last year. Not that much, but I'm gonna save some, put it in a box and put it away for 5-10 years and try it then. So now we'll just, the process is just to keep turning this till it presses it all out. And then what we're gonna do is here's the third barrel. We've already pressed that once. What we're gonna do is once we're done pressing this, we're gonna break all that back up again and dump both of these back in, and that's the second press, and you'll probably get another 5 gallons out of that.
And once you start going out,
And then cover it for 2 weeks, and we're ready to go. Back in 2 weeks. So until next time.
rotate it. And rotate it, so you take the wine out, put it in a clean container, clean the sediment out of the dirty container, take another dirty one, put it in a clean container.
Hello, just wanted to show you what we meant by it boiling. You can see it actually bubbling, and actually, if you listen, you can hear it fizzing. So it's going to be, this is today's Monday, 2 days after we put it into the container. and it's already boiling like crazy. And this barrel seems to be already, must have boiled already. It's still boiling a little bit. So that's that. We'll see you next time when we put it into containers.
Welcome back to the winemaking. What we're doing today, we're siphoning the wine from the barrels into these glass containers here. Once we get that done, we come over here to the wine we have in the glass containers, and we use one of these, what they call airlocks. What we do is put water into this side here, so that the water's on these first two bubbles here. Put them back onto the glass. What happens, the CO2 is able to escape through here, through this airlock, but no air will be able to come back into the bottle. That's the purpose of that. So we do this. Now we get this process done. We'll show you this maybe when we come back next time, and probably be in about a month's time where we have to do another process. 2 weeks? 2 months. 2 months time where we have another process to show you, and the wine will be just about getting ready. So that's it as far as this segment is shown, and we're getting ready to sample this in a few more months, and I'm ready to go. They're in the bottles. This process is done, and in 2 months we'll come back and show you the next process. Arrivederci.
Today's December 3rd, and we're about 2 months. The wine's been sitting in the 5-gallon glass since the last time we left you. We wanted to show you what the airlocks look like. I don't know if the camera can get it. They have the tubes. When you first add the water in here, all the water goes to one side because the gases are releasing out of the wine, which is the sugars. This doesn't allow air back in, it only allows the air out. So once these two balls are even on either side with the water, that means the fermentation process is done. So right now what we're doing is what they call racking the wine, where we strain it, you siphon it. What happens is all sediments down to the bottom on this wine now, so we're going to rack it, which means filter it. And you just keep turning it over so that it's nice and clean now. Then we're going to put it back on the shelf and we can start drinking some for Christmas, and the longer we wait the better.
We're going to sample some today?
Yeah, we can sample some today. So now we'll come into here, we'll show you how we're siphoning it. This is the siphon process. We have a tube with a net around the bottom, a screen around the bottom, so that all the sediments doesn't get back into the new wine, the fresh bottle wine. So it's just filtering. This bottle is one we just did, and we'll show you what we mean by the sediment. As you can see, it's like
You want to close up that, sir?
caked on the bottom, it's stuck to the bottom, and that's what you don't want to mix back into the filter process. So we're going to
These have been, these three have been done, right, Brian?
those three have been done. As you can see, the wine's nice and
Nice and
purple and
clear.
dark and clear. We'll put a regular cork now because we don't need an airlock now because the fermentation process is done. So we just put these corks on lightly in case there is any air left.
And if you can see this one, this is clear as can be right now, no sediments in there. And you know, Brian and I are going to sample this for the first time. It's perfect. Gentani.
Good.
Unbelievable.
Very good.
Very nice, very nice.
Not too strong, not too sweet either.
Got like a Merlot.
It does taste like a Merlot.
Like a Merlot. Red Merlot.
Doesn't burn, not like a Burgundy, it's smooth.
So we're in the process of getting this done now. We got these three, got another about 5 or 6 more to go.
And that's it. We usually just let it all sit. Like I said, we can start drinking some for Christmas. The
Christmas
longer
time.
you wait, the better. You just leave it corked. And then if in January, February, March comes and you want to rack it one more time, because what's going to happen, the sediment's still going to drop again. You can do that, but it's a lot of work sometimes.
Oh, we can do that. We
As
see
you go, you can do one at a time. You don't have to do them all at once, because it's a lot of work.
You know, the longer this stays, the better it gets. In other words, come with summertime, it'll be just right. And then come next September, which would be a year from the time we made
Yeah,
this.
you really want to drink year-old wine, which
Yeah.
last year, I'm drinking some of my last year's wine, which is a lot better. It's a lot different than that because it dries out over the course of the year.
Did you get some bottles of wine and put them in a box and put all that?
Yeah, last year's I put them in a wooden crate that the wine comes in from a liquor store. I corked them with a real cork machine so that they're flush, just like you get them at the store. I laid them in the box, covered it, nailed it tight, and it's in my basement, so where it's cool, but that's important. That's what happens in the summertime. We gotta move these from here down to the basement so that
It
stays
has to
cool.
be always a cool.
Or else it'll start, I think with the heat, the heat will start the fermentation process again. You don't want that to happen because the wine gets,
If you have an ideal place down south where it's cool and
yeah, you want it like 55 to 60 degrees, and the cellar stays pretty cool.
I can feel that wine already, Brian.
Yeah.
I just a little sip. Can you imagine that? When Christmas time come, we'd be in heaven. With the raviolis and all that. Huh?
It'll be good.
Is this the last phase of this winemaking thing?
This is it, other than the drinking phase, which we can do.
We won't show them the drinking phase,
Yeah.
right? But this is the last phase of it, so we can probably get this ready to tape and have the people look at this and show them what's involved with making wine, because you'd be surprised how many people are making wine today. It's amazing. I was amazed to see the amount of people, and when we bought the grapes, we were buying the grapes, and it's a wine, people are making it because they enjoy drinking homemade wine. 100% different from the wine you buy from the stores. So we're in heaven.
We're in heaven, so hope you
Good
enjoy
job.
the show.
Good job.
Good job for Dad this time.
Leave it there,
Enjoy the
Chief.
show, and we'll let us know how you like the show. See you.
You open your children to a world of possibilities when you help them open a book.
Discover Ashland's own Channel 8, WACA-TV. As your local cable access station, we produce programs for and about Ashland. Young and old alike, volunteers from our town work together to produce programs that cannot be seen anywhere else on television. Our brand new studio is located at Ashland High School on West Union Street. The heart of our studio operation is here in the control room, where programs come to life. Special audio and video equipment is used by volunteers who've learned to operate the equipment by the Channel 8 staff. The studio is where many of our programs are videotaped. Here you can learn how to operate a television camera, learn the art of lighting, or even become the star of your own program. The editing suite is where you put all the pieces of your program together. It's like building a video puzzle. You can add a special effect, music, words, and graphics. In addition to video production, there are many other ways to get involved in Ashland's Channel 8. You can help at one of our community events, organize information for our community bulletin board, or help with work in our office. A fun and easy new adventure is waiting for you, and we're just around the corner. Stop by and visit. Take a tour of our new studio in person.
For more information, call 881-WACA.
Tommy wants to design bridges when he grows up. Maybe he'll design one that you'll use. Now, would you like this free booklet of simple ways you can help improve his education? Call 1-800-96-PROMISE.
To have a dream, but never the chance to achieve it. That is perhaps the greatest tragedy in life. The United Negro College Fund exists to bring the dreams of thousands of young people within reach. Hands that yearn to touch lives. We train to heal, to teach, to bless. We encourage souls that hear music to write symphonies and sing anthems. And to those once bound by poverty, we present a wealth of possibilities. When you support the United Negro College Fund, you give more than money. You give dreams that may have died, the power to live.
Support the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.